When you do something that you love, even a bad day is a good day because you learned something. I believe I am the X factor of my story, and luck can come to you once. Without hard work and consistency, you are not going to make it. I made it happen. These are words of wisdom by my next guest. She's an icon, and an entrepreneur, and an award-winning Lux real estate agent in the city of Dubai. Please welcome to Oris Santuary, Dalila Laaribi. Dalila, welcome to Oris Sanctuary. It's an honor to have you. I
Honor
am
is mine. Thank you. Thank you
taken
for
back.
having me.
You are, but the thing that makes me laugh, you are in a business that's, a lot of people think it's easy, but it isn't. Let's not get it twisted. Not everybody could do what you do. And I take my hats off to you and all the real estate agents in the world. Sometimes the impossible tasks that you are all put in a situation. I know that because, my wife at the age of 23 owned her own real estate agent here in Oslo, where we've just moved. So, and me spending time in LA as an actor, I ran into a lot of actors who went on to become an amazing real estate agent. So I saw what they had to study, the books, the stuff they had to do, and why they deserve such huge commissions. So thanks to the likes of you, I think you give, from my perspective, and I hope everyone sees this by the end of this interview, um, the power and what it is to maintain such power to give that person a place they want to stay, whether the place costs £100 a month to millions and millions, or I just want to buy for an investment. And the fact that to see how I can't speak for a lot of them, you treat everyone the same, that to me is magical. But the question I want to ask you is, how do you go from flying, working with Emirates as a air hostess, and not just any, air hostess, your work went down as far as making sure everyone's cared for from the moment they walk on that plane, off the plane, even in their daily life, off that plane, back on the plane. How do you go from that into real estate?
Okay, so thank you for the intro. Amazing. And thank you for having me. Even though I got catfished into this. I have to say this.
Oh my God, you guys, she's funny. We haven't even started yet. Yeah, you you guys are in for a treat.
So, so yeah, from Emirates Airline, I was 21 years old. And I was studying
Wow.
criminal justice in the States. Okay? So this is the story. I was studying criminal justice in the States, and I had good friend of my mom's that live here, and they were like, "Listen, Emirates Airline, we know a lot of girls. They're so happy." And me, I'm like, Dubai, like I have to go there and cover up, and I was like, "It's fine," because I'm like a Muslim, alhamdulillah. So I was like, "It's fine," but I didn't want to be in a place like that. I was scared. I was like, "Is it? Is it not?" And this was back in 2008. Okay, so I was like, you know what? Fine. I had just finished my 2 years in college, so there's 2 years left to get my bachelor's, obviously. So I applied. I was like, it's my real actual job. I applied. I went to an interview, and interview was in New York. And I literally told them in the interview, I was like, listen, my university starts on the 27th of August. If you guys really want me, then you should tell me before. because school is expensive. I'm not gonna pay for a class a lot of fees and cancel. So let me know. This was the interview. They looked at me like, okay. And then they're like, what do you have in that bag? I'm like, yeah, I have flats because it's New York. I can't be walking with my heels. Is there shopping in Dubai? I started talking about random stuff. So I guess they liked me. And I was flying to Morocco for vacation because I'm originally from Morocco. And I remember the phone call that I got from Emirates. I was in the airport, New York, going to Casablanca, and I got a call, and I got emotional because it's like my first actual job, because everything I did, it was like not like an actual corporate job. I got emotional, and they're like, "Listen, we need you to get ready. We need this medical, this other medical, blah blah blah, because this is your joining date, 29th of August, 2008." Okay, so did that, enjoyed, had fun. I was with them for 6 years, 6 months, 6 days. Literally, when I resigned, it was 666. I was like, okay. I did private with them. I was the face of Emirates, and I just loved it. The thing is, when I do something, I enjoy what I do. I was just, I had flights where I see people, it's their first time in a plane, where I'm not gonna bash other people where they're like, oh, look what they're doing, but I get emotional. I was like, look, it's their first time in a plane, they're scared, they don't know what to press, they're that human thing, like, make someone's day. You never know what might happen, you know it could be me. I don't know what the world is going into. We might be flying to the moon by the time I'm like 80 years old, and I'm not gonna know what to press, and someone is gonna look at me and be like, you're an idiot. No, you never. I don't know, so I enjoyed that. And I'm traveling, I'm seeing the world. At a 21-year-old, I came to Dubai. I was like, Mama, I'm sending my hijabs back to America. You do not really have to be all hijabis over here, as a joke. It's not what I thought. Women are still driving here. I got my license in 2008. You just swapped your license. I mean, now it's totally different, but it was a bit stricter, but I loved it. As a 21-year-old in another country, you could go crazy and do multiple things. So I was happy that it was such a culture. Like, I felt like I'm home. Like, I can't do anything wrong. It's like my mom is watching, type of thing. So I love being with people. I love helping people. I love taking them to these new destinations, or picking them up from somewhere new and listening to their stories. And from that, the journey, basically, I flew private with Royal Family of Abu Dhabi. Because when I was with Emirates, I was like, okay, what's the maximum I'm gonna reach? Like, what's the maximum I'm gonna reach? And I worked with Emirates private, and I loved it. And I was like, you know what? It's time to go full private. So I did full private. Amazing. Enjoyed it. And then I was like, okay, so what's the highest I can reach in this position? Like, okay, now royal families, they're my friends, we fly together, like, it's because I was flying their families also. Okay, what's the max? I become a senior, then will I own this private jet? I'm like, no, I can just get higher positions within the company. I was like, okay, so now time to move on. Let me see what I could do. I don't want to do criminal justice because I've traveled the world, and I don't want to say anything about the system, but there is just no system really. You really have to hack it. Like, I don't want to sleep with my conscience clear. I don't want to send someone by doing something wrong or right to the wrong place. So I was like, I'm not going to get into that field. I want to do psychology. So I've left private flying, luxury, amazing things. And I was like, okay, I want to get my psychology bachelor's, where I applied back to the States. to Orlando, and I got in UCF accepted. So I got my psychology bachelor's, and I was like, okay, um, what can I do? Because I want to do, like, by the end, like, it's always about helping people. I get pleasure from helping people. I enjoy it, you know. Hence, I still do my master class because I'm not making money from it. I make money from deals. But anywho, so did this psychology, started applying for jobs because I'm like, I need money for now. But there was a time where I was applying for private jets again, and I was applying for bank positions. I was applying for everything. For like 3 years, I was getting rejected. 3 years. Rejection, rejection. And I'm just like, okay, God has a better plan. No problem. You know? And the rejection was overqualified, or like it was weird. I even did the private jets that contacted me prior, and I'm like, okay, no. Like, if I tell you who I got rejected, you will be shocked. Seriously. Like in the States, Spirit
Yeah.
Airways. Spirit Airways. Spirit
Oh,
Airways
you
is
got
like,
kicked.
do you know what
Oh.
Spirit Airways is like? Whiz of like Europe.
Oh my God.
I was with them for 40 minutes
And,
in the conversation.
yeah.
And then I got rejected. I was like, hold up, wait a minute. Are you kidding me?
Mm,
I was like working for Royals, and I'm accepting to work on your aircraft that you have to pay $5 for oxygen and $2 for seatbelt, and manage it to even whatever it is. But there's no shame in work. To me, I believe there's no shame in working. So apply to even like to some brands that I was one of like their top buyers at the time, rejected. I was like, okay, whatever. Started doing stock market. I did good at the time, whatever, some crypto. And then, like, alhamdulillah, what happened? Corona happened, you know? And I was like, thank God I haven't got hired, because I would have ended up buying houses and cars, and what am I gonna do now? So all these rejections were for a good thing, and I always say it's for the good thing. And then during that, when Corona was easing off, everybody's like, Dalila, real estate. You're always talking to people. You're always selling stuff to your friends when they move to Dubai. You love this country. You know everything. Do real estate. There is so much money. I was like, guys, listen. Um, it is about the money, but it's not about the money. Like, I'm not gonna go because everybody's doing it. Like, I want to do it because I'm ready. You know, I can just do it because no. So then I got my yoga teaching license. Okay, because I'm still like,
wow.
I'm not even
I
really.
love it.
I got my yoga teaching license because I always had a joke that when people just want to retire,
Yeah.
they travel the world and they have money, they're like, I want to be a
Yeah.
yogi.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what happened. I want to be a yogi. So got my yoga license, started teaching a bit, and then went to the States. And then there was like a little second phase of Corona, like because there was something. I decided to get my real estate license in Florida. I was like, let me study this and see. Because my mom had her license. And I was like, you know what? Let me do that. And my mom always tells me, okay, do this, like do podcasts, do real estate. And I'm always like, yeah, mama, yeah, sure, sure. You always, till when you reach it, like, oh, sorry, I know my mom told me about it. So I was studying, I got my real estate license in Florida. And when I got it, I was like, okay, hold on. I haven't been here for more than 10 years. Like, okay, I'm in and out, I'm in and out. I know everything about Dubai. I know the new law, the old law, the regulations, the new buildings. I'm ready to do real estate in Dubai, you know? Because I've never left. It was in and out, in and out, a semester there, here. Summertime, I'm never in Dubai, therefore, I'm always there. So, I got a good friend of mine that she's like, look, we have two companies that we know very well. There's this small one, and then there's this big one. Which one do you want? I was like, I want to go with the small one, and I will go to the big one after. Which is ironically, that's exactly what happened. I worked with that first one, and then the second one that I'm working for now, it's the one that she mentioned before. So I got into real estate, and I had the background of studying it in the States, which I can communicate with clients differently. I can communicate with investors differently to explain to them how is it here, how is it there. I've been here since 2008. I've saw Burj Khalifa, where it was called Burj Dubai, becomes Burj Khalifa. So I've I love the country. I enjoy it. So of course, like I feel like I'm the ambassador of real estate, basically in Dubai. I'm not no shame on people that move from countries and go and sell without knowing anything, and they're 21 years old. Good, you're doing it for the money. Everybody does it for different reasons. But I do it because I've helped multiple families that are my friends that came here, moved, they got jobs, they put their kids to school. They're either where I help them just as a friend by telling them this is the process, or help them now as a client where I make them money by renting their units, by reselling their units, by so to me it became it's my passion because whatever I do, I did with passion. Even flight attendant, I was with passion. Yoga with passion because I like to love what I do because I don't want to. I'm not working for someone. You see, I'm working for myself. I'm working for my
Yes,
sanity.
exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
So
But one of the things I'm picking up, one of the things I'm picking up here, and I love about your journey, you are incredibly aware that everything, one way or the other in your life, is by some divine faith. There was always that and it's very wisdomatic driven. There's a lot of wisdom in what I'm hearing. A lot of, yes, you've respected the fact that you were in a position to work with all these families in the private sector of the traveling industry, and very fortunate to spend time with a lot of people who open up to you. Oh, I'm a stockbroker, I'm this, and you listen, you learn, you got, so you were, and that's why I said, wow, I'm curious to know the journey from you as a child to flying around the world to this. And it's just amazing the importance of all of this journey, and even the importance of when someone says no. Because you and I are not far from another no, from another yes. And this brings me to this. You sleep right now and breathe in an atmosphere of creativity at its highest level, right? Uh, there's a lot of creative minds around you. Dubai, hands down, has to be one of the most innovative place on the planet Earth. Whether you've never been there, all you got to do is go on YouTube. We're in the social media era. You go on Instagram, and heaven help you, you will see things. Incredible things. So, and in the span of 50 years, it's just one of the most magical places right now in the Middle East, and a place for visionaries and serial entrepreneurs such as you and myself. Yeah. So the likes of you and I are in a place any minute now we can hear the word no. Yes. because where we are dealing with a lot of emotions. Our stories are highly emotional. So our stories, our journey psychologically, spiritually, is what we're selling, whether we like it or not, to survive. If that makes any sense. So you coming in from the private sector, watching all kinds of people on many different levels, learning, listening, it's kind of a blessing in disguise, right? You've been driven by a lot of wisdom, a lot of time to think before in the midst of your different levels, the fact that you are in a position to help people not only get them a place to sleep, but down to when they move, what do the kids need? Is any of your kids learning to study piano? Maybe I could get a piano teacher. I mean, you are going over and beyond than most people I know in the real estate industry. And that's a fact. Dubai, hands down, as we all know it, whether we like it or not, is the most innovative place on the planet. And in the last, I would say, 50 years,
Yeah.
it's become not only a magical place, but a Disneyland for visionaries,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And serial entrepreneurs such as us, which is why we're here. So if you can give me right now three names of the people you feel in your heart that's responsible for what Dubai is today. That's really just, when you go into a nightclub, that person that takes up the thing and says, welcome. If you can give me three names of people you really admire that really helped to push Dubai to where you were like, wow, I love this place. And why?
Okay, you see, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, which is the ruler of Dubai, okay, he has an immaculate vision and he pushes it forward and forward. Like you could literally wake up and there will be a new rule changed for what? To make it better for the newcomers, the new investors, the families. He listens. He's every day. I know for a fact, whenever there's a problem, if the problem, let's say, shows up in social media, you will know for a fact there's a new law. It's fixed. It's done. So he drives Dubai. He drives the city forward. That's why I feel like living in such a place where the ruler's vision is just growing, eventually you have to pick up these signs and this synergy. You're in it, you know? Like if I want to wake up right now and let's say forget real estate and I just want to start building a rocket, God knows what. There's no one that can stop me in Dubai. I'm gonna go and open an innovation company, go reach out and say, hello, who's looking to invest? I want to build this rocket. Like nobody's gonna tell you no, or like you cannot, or just bring that idea and go out and bring it to life. Because the person in charge of Dubai is gonna be like, hey, you know what? If nobody helped you, I'm gonna assist you to go. So the next person would be, of course, it's his crown prince. His crown prince, the crown prince follows his footstep. Faza follows his father's footstep. He's with the young community. He's out there, sports, running, doing like the marathons with everybody. There's not this monarchy of I'm on this level, I cannot enter here, I cannot sit here, or you see they're walking, which funny enough, without bodyguards because they know they're not doing anything wrong. Only thing they're doing is they're helping the country. If you see what I'm saying. So, thirdly, is the people that had the courage to move here and stay here, and they're still here for more than a decade. The people that are here from day one, that I still have friends for 15 years. The people that believe in the country, the people that are not coming as a transit or a quick bucks, the people that are not fake it till you make it type of thing, the people that are not I'm in social media driving a Lamborghini that's rented to tell people, let me show you how to be rich. No, ain't no way you're gonna get a Lambo the first day you get here. Like, unless it's what did you build? What did you do? You know? So those are the, if you say three, the third is the most important are the outsiders, which yes, we are from Dubai, but we are still not. Like you know what I'm saying? But that doesn't bother us because everything is given to us. Safety, security, whatever it is. And it's our choice. It's the expats' choice. Their choice. We came here, we're saying we are building with them, we are investing with Dubai because if the ruler is here by himself without us, it's there's no Dubai. He has to have people to believe in that vision. So the people that's been here since more than 10 years, I've been here only 15 years. The people that's been here for 40 years, the ones that came with their ships to Dubai and stayed here and build and build and build. Like I know stories of people that had literally one of the guys' private jets that I used to work on, he started here as a small supermarket. Literally, he had a small supermarket. I used to say it, and I was like, oh, he was such an amazing guy, such an inspiration. Everybody's like, whenever we fly to the country that's where he's from, everybody treats us as like queens because they look at him as like, oh my God, he did it. We can do it. So, like, literally, the people that are here and making Dubai stay as Dubai and not giving up and not leaving, whether the rules were so strict in the beginning
Yes.
or changing right now for the favors of the newcomers. We
Yes.
are still here.
And
Those
talking
that
of, and sorry, sorry, you were going to finish your thought.
yes,
Yeah.
those families that moved here and they had their kids here.
Yes.
And their kids are born in Dubai, but they're not. They're like half Canadian, half Arabic, half Egyptian, half, but they're born here and it's in their hearts. You cannot tell them you're not from Dubai. Who are you to tell me where I'm from? Like, okay, yes, I don't have the passport, no problem, but I am. I'm born here. I'm breathing here. I'm living this. It's so that is those are the three people. I think I went out of line
No,
explaining.
no, no,
I
no.
just get so emotional
No, no,
explaining what I'm talking
no.
about.
I love it. I love it, and I think you gave the perfect answer. And I love your the third. They come under one, and that's the people, the foreigners, the respect for that. Because if you look in the world now, most people are divided. They're like, oh, we don't want to be part of this anymore. We're going to remove
Yes,
ourselves. But you just, it's so refreshing, and that's one of the greatest thing that made the likes of me, move to Oslo, to Norway. It's a country with everybody. It's and most of these people they transit back and forth. Funny enough, me being from an African background, and the Middle East, you could see that every time the innovation here, and the 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 power to say, I want to invent, I want to bring something new, whether it's a rocket or a medicine or something, just that spirit. All right. And one of the things here in Oslo right now, out of every 10 car, 9 is electric. That's like Dubai. It's amazing, right? And you talk about, and I want to bring it back to something you said. For me, it seems it's very important as a ruler, as someone who is leading, to be the main source of inspiration, especially for the next generation of entrepreneurs, scientists. And I see how you are really staunch on that. And obviously, what I'm also getting from the three names you have, the three items and the three people that which all in one, is Dubai, the UAE, United Arab Emirates. The UAE is the mother and the kingdom of invention as well as innovation. That's what I'm getting here. And what how has that really changed your perception? Because now you are literally a mother to my kids, and all these young kids you see on a daily basis. Because with this type of spirit, you don't have to say much. How does that make you feel?
I mean, I feel great because I
Mm,
feel that you, it's, in the end, I'll always go to one thing. It's,
mm,
which I believe, and I'll say in Arabic,
yeah.
أنت تريد أنا أريد والله يفعل ما يريد, which means
Alhamdulillah.
you want, I
Yes.
want, and God has his
Yes.
own plans of what he
Mm,
wants, you know?
mm, mm.
So, but at the same time, you cannot just sit at home and sleep and wait for your rizq to come. Or you know, some people are like,
Yeah.
God doesn't want it for me. I'm gonna
Yeah.
stay here. No, you must move. You must
Yes.
هذا ترزقه. Move for you
Mm,
to make fortune. And here is possible. Like I told you, one day I had 24 rejection emails.
mm.
And it was just like, okay, fine. And I'm from the States. I mean, in the States, it also was, the American dream. Come do what you want. This, you know. It's, yeah, cool, nice.
Yeah.
I'm not, I'm not gonna bash on the States. The States is
Yeah.
the States. But
Yeah.
it's just that so much is happening and there's so much divided. There's too much that I don't want to be in a place where I want to go out and focus on anything negative, because that will remove from my empowerment and from my vision. That's gonna improve. That's gonna remove from me becoming a better or a more successful person, as what they say. So I'd rather just be like here where you support and everybody's going, and it's like states back, and I don't know how many years, you know, when it was like the dream.
Yeah. It-
So
it- yeah. Yeah. It's interesting that you say this. So, this is where I want to ask you something, and I think it's very, very important because I really believe in this question I'm about to ask you, and it's going to be an interesting way how you will respond to this. I'm dying to know your depth of your physical belief, or should we say your life principle, and how that has a lot to do with Dalila today.
I'm trying to emphasize on the question.
Yes. So I want
Yeah.
to know. Okay. So let's talk about your philosophical beliefs
Mm-hmm.
right now, because I have a feeling that your philosophical beliefs or life principles has guided your decisions and the actions and the consequences, good consequences of who you are today. Can you go a little bit deeper with that? How that has really helped you. So you may have to go back to Morocco to that. You may have to go back to mom and dad because I know your mom has a lot.